Hi, and welcome to this week's Dvar Torah. This week, we're not going to give a Dvar Torah about the Seder because there is no Seder of the week, but rather we're going to speak about Pesach. And I want to speak about one of the central parts of the Seder. One of those things that we sit together, we raise our cups and we sing Vehi l'Aviseinu. It is this that stood l'Aviseinu to our fathers, v'lanu to us, because not only one, but many people try to destroy us. V'HaKadosh Baruch Hu matzilenu miyodam. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu saves us from all those people that try to stand against us. But what is this Vehi? So the simple translation of the Vehi is the promise that Hashem made to always keep the Jewish people, which what He said before, Baruch Shem after Chassid Yisrael, blessed is the one who keeps His promise to the Jewish people. But I think we could also say homiletically, Vehi she'amna l'Aviseinu v'lanu. Vehi she'amna is the fact that we can sit around the table. The fact that we still, after all these years, have a Seder. That parents and grandparents and grandchildren sit around the table, discuss the Exodus from Egypt, mention about what it was like to be a slave, and today we can think about that freedom. Today we can all celebrate that freedom, and we've not forgotten that tradition. We still have it until today. That stood our fathers, our grandfathers, and our great-grandfathers in good stead. No matter where people were, whether they were in the ghettos, or whether they were in the concentration camps in Auschwitz, or whether they were in the shtetl with the pogroms in Europe, or whether they were back in Spain, or wherever they were, they all got together on this night. And that night was the night they discussed and they celebrated the Exodus from Egypt. Vehi she'amna l'Aviseinu, that Exodus, that memory, and that knowledge that God will always save us, and that we need to keep perpetuating His rules, His laws, His thoughts, and His Torah. That is what stood us in such good stead. That is why we as a Jewish people here are together. And it's such an important point to mention to our children or our grandchildren when we sit around the Seder, and for us to internalize as well. We're not only culturally Jewish. This is not only about doing something that looks good or that feels good, but rather Vehi she'amna l'Aviseinu is the passing on of that tradition. The fact that God took us out of Egypt and that we are His people. That is what will ensure continuity. That is what will ensure that we as a Jewish people hopefully will never ever disappear, as so many other civilizations have. So this year when you get around the table, celebrate the Seder, celebrate your traditions. Think about what you can do next year to make these traditions even more beautiful and even more meaningful. And enjoy this Yom Tov, which is a Zman Cheruseinu, a time of our freedom. And you should all get a taste of that freedom. And please God, we should get the taste of the much greater freedom. The freedom that we're all hoping for with the coming of Mashiach. Maybe speedily still in this year. Wishing you all and your families a very happy and a very kosher Pesach. All the best.